Welcome. I want to thank you for viewing. I want to thank you for your likes. I want to thank you for giving me the time to hear what I have to say, how I ended up divorced, how everything reading this book called The Love and Respect Experience by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs explained to me it's time to move on. It's time to not just separate maybe a month or two. I think the furthest I went was 8 months and then go back. No, it was to keep going. It was to keep walking, was to keep moving. Anywho, I am the Nasty Pastor. Please like, share, comment, follow. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Only Faith Ministries. I'm gonna get right into this. I'm gonna move right on into chapter 38, which the title is My Response Always My Responsibility. Is my response always my responsibility? What you think? I'm gonna say yes it is. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you my answer now. Hopefully, once we get through chapter 8 reading, you will have your answer. The scripture comes from John 8:31 through 32, 36. If you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And if the Son sets you free, you will be free, free indeed. So, if it's up to Jesus to set us free from hell, from all of our hurts, all of our bad deeds, don't you think it's time to give this man some type of praise, some type of worship, some type of authority over your life? Because it seems in our ending, Jesus has the authority to say, send them to heaven, send them to hell. Let them go on deal in purgatory a little bit more. You feel me? Because see, that man laid his life down for our life. So I understand if this is true, if this is the truth, I understand why he's given dominion over our lives. Let's get on into chapter 38. In the give and take of love and respect marriage, which of these statements is true? My response could be my responsibility. That's A. My response could be my spouse's responsibility. That's B. It depends on the situation. It could go either way. That's C. I'm going with A. You know what I mean? My response could be my responsibility. You know what I mean? What I say out my mouth, the actions I do in my life is my responsibility. You know, as far as I can see, I can't see no strings. I can't see where that I'm a puppet. I know I don't like to be controlled, so I know I would have been cut the strings. You got what I'm saying? And if you think following the commandments is being controlled, it's not. If you think the day you die, the day you go to rest for eternal rest, if you think because I want to follow the commandments and I want to believe in Jesus, I want to believe in a higher power, and I don't want to believe in Satan, that I'm being controlled, no. It's like a bank. You got me? It's just like a bank. I am taking good deeds, storing them. You feel me? Every deed I have done. You feel me? Every deed I've done. And I'm not going to talk about the deeds I've done when I was out here doing wrong. I'm talking about the deeds the day when I first started transitioning my life. Because see, I know a lot of people that do a lot of wrong, but they got a lot of good in their heart. You got what I'm saying? A lot of good in their heart. They'll give you their layers. You understand me? They're layers. They don't care about it. You feel me? So what I'm saying to you from day one, 20-some years ago from when I first started transitioning, that's what I'm talking about, those deeds. And if you think I'm being controlled because I follow these commandments, I go out here and try to help as much as I can, no. I'm storing favor, sweetheart. I'm storing favor, young man. I'm storing favor, elderly man. I'm storing favor to you standard preachers, to you standard ministers, to you standard reverends. That's what I'm doing. Just like you store money, you save money for a rainy day, my rainy day is going to be judgment day. And I'm saving it all up so that when, if it's truth, Jesus take a look at my life, he can see, okay, you was something. Okay, you was getting it together. Oh man, you a backslide. But here you go, got 30, 40 some years pushing forward in good deeds. Come on up here to heaven. At least that's the way I wanted to go. Anywho, let's get back to this reading. The correct answer, of course, is none of the above. Why is it none of the above? I don't get that. You listen to what I'm saying, because I'm going to pause this right quick. When I read this book, I'm going to say it to you again. When I read this book, I had to comprehend what makes sense in my world. I had to understand that this comes from a Christian background. I had to understand that when I read this, I have to take something someone else wrote about their life, their background. You got me? Because this is self-help tool. You got me? Take that, comprehend what they're saying, see where it fit in my life and where it makes sense in my life. You feel me? Now let's get back to this. When seeking to unconditionally love or respect your spouse, your response is always your responsibility. So another part I don't get. You're telling me it's none of the above, but you're telling me right here is always your responsibility. My response could be my responsibility. I'll go with that. You got what I'm saying? I would still say it's A. Would it need to be clarified? My responsibility? Come on now. See, everything has a lot of trickery in it. And one thing I'm going to bring into this, and I'm going to always say when I'm reading books, this right here has Jewish influence in it. You understand me? Don't nothing go through these publishing offices without a Jew overlooking it. You understand me? I don't care if you go to an African publisher. At the end of the day, there's a Jew censoring this book. You get me? You understand me? There's somebody from the Jewish culture censoring this book, making sure that it's worded right, presented right, as what Jewish would say this is the standard. You understand what I'm saying? You got me? This is the standard of a self-help tool about marriage. You feel me? Because it wouldn't have got that far. It wouldn't have got that far if they was against it. Okay, let's roll. There is no wiggling off the hook with the phrase could be. Oh, we all like to think there could be a way to avoid taking responsibility. I do at times, surely I tell myself there must be a reason why my less than loving responses really serve responsibility, but not so. Let me put it this way. Sarah doesn't cause me to be the way I am. She reveals the way I am. When I am unloving towards Sarah, it's because I still have issues. I still have more growing up to do. Now, did you peep out what Emerson said? Sarah don't cause him to do things. Sarah show him who he is. You get me? You get me? See, I never blame my exes, my wife that was, for none of my actions. You got what I'm saying? I never sat there and said because you did this, you did that, you did that. That's why I did it. Now I explained to you what was the root that led to something. You see what I'm saying? But I still have to be the man. I still have to be mature enough to know that okay, don't cross that line because now you're getting violent, and that's where I hear issues at. You feel me? I don't Put it this way: a person can smack you, or let's go back to what I said a long time ago in another chapter. I've never been robbed. A person could try to rob you. It's not you making them pull the trigger. That finger pulled the trigger. That thought in their mind pulled the trigger. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? You understand it too. Why I'm saying I don't blame them for the things I've done, for the bad things I've done to them. I don't blame them for that. You got what I'm saying? I don't dwell on the part about what they done. I'm just looking at what I done. And I wanna, how to put this? I wanna figure out how not to never do it again. Figure my triggers. Figure, okay, if this woman jump up and get in my face, am I gonna just turn my back and walk away? Okay, am I gonna just sit there and take this? Okay, am I gonna just what? You feel me? So I have to build that strength. And it's not about what they do. You feel me? Start looking at what you're doing. Start looking at how you're playing into their actions. For example, think about stepping on a rose. As you crush it, a lovely fragrance comes forth. Stepping on a skunk also discharges an odor. Enough said. Did the pressure on the rose and skunk cause the resulting smell, or did it reveal the inner properties of the rose and skunk? In your marriage, you need to realize your spouse doesn't cause you to be a rose or a skunk. You reveal your own, inner fragrance. I used to say to my to the wife that was, and you know what I mean, some past associates. I'm not gonna say they was girlfriends. We was intimate, but we wasn't in a relationship. You know what I mean? I told them they stink before. You know what I mean? Instead of getting mad at them, instead of telling them they'll lie, instead of telling them some nasty stuff I could have said out my mouth to them, I told them they stink. You know what I mean? I don't feel like being around you today because you stink. I don't feel like talking to you today because all coming out your mouth is dumpster juice. I smell it through the phone. You got what I'm saying? Okay. The idea that it's what's inside that counts may sound daunting, even intimidating, but as I thought it through, I realized that no one controls me. I'm not a helpless victim. I have a choice between being a rose or a skunk. Having a choice is in itself very empowering and liberating, but the best part is that I do not have to make that choice alone. I have Jesus, and ultimately, He makes all the difference. As today's verse teaches, the Son has set me free, and that makes me free indeed to take responsibility for how I react to Sarah in any situation. I have many emails from people who agree. They apply their freedom in Christ daily, refusing to respond unlovingly or disrespectfully, even when tempted. As one lady put it, to disappear him. And as one husband reported, we both were the skunk, depending on the situation. But that's over and things are getting better gradually because the phrase keeps echoing in his head. My response is my responsibility. Now you got that? There's something you could say. If you're an argumentative person, you're married, you're in a relationship, but you're the argumentative person. The person you're dealing with can't take it. The person you're dealing with get violent, whether it's verbally or physically, they get violent. You got what I'm saying? They get nasty. That person need to really keep that phrase in their head. My response is my responsibility. So that's why you should think before you speak. That's why you should really, how to say this. Mean what you say and say what you mean. I give you a prime example. I said something very nasty about my uncle. And I ain't gonna say it's deserving because I don't want him to die hard. I do love the man. You know, I have a little ill will towards the man because when I look at the root of why my cousin is dead, I see it being him. I see my cousin's life going a different way if he wouldn't have never been thrown out the house at 12, if it was even asked to my mom, can you hold on, can you watch Mookie for a while, because there's some stuff going on at the house with him and Junior. My mama would have surely said yeah. Maybe he would be alive. Maybe he would have reached 52 as I've done. You feel me? He died at 21. You understand? Birthday September, turned 21, died a couple of days before Thanksgiving 1991. Feel me? You understand? It's been what, 31 years this man been gone. Gone. For what reason? A reason don't none of us haven't figured yet. But anywho, let's get back to this reading. For the love and respect couple, there is no more bailing out by saying in so many words, well, honey, you know my response is really your responsibility. You made me put us on the crazy cycle. Instead, both of you know you have the power to act like adults and take responsibility to be loving and respectful. Why? When the sun sets you free, you are free indeed. That's the end of chapter 38. Once again, mean what you say what you mean. Stop speaking in anger. And you know, I've been a little, down. You know what I mean? Usually when around this time of year, September start coming in, that's my cousin's birthday. You know what I mean? Both of my cousin Al and my cousin Mookie, both of them were born September the 6th, 1970. I later came October the 23rd, 1970. But usually, you know what I mean, September, really June start, cause my grandma died, I think like in I think it was like June, July when she passed away. But it's a lot that goes on, and when September come, it hit me hard. You got what I'm saying? It hit me very harder. You know, I put down the weed because it can trigger me to going back smoking a jumbo. It can do it. You know what I mean? I've been strong enough to not allow it if I proceed to smoke into the new year. But usually I put the weed down in September and I fight it all the way through January the 1st, you know what I mean? If I wake up January the 1st want a blunt, I go get a blunt. If I don't, I just stretch it out as long as I can. But I got deaths in September. I got deaths in November. I got deaths now in December the 25th. You got what I'm saying? My cousin Andre Shelton, rest his soul, he passed 12:30 a.m. December the 25th, 2013. But that's something else I deal with. You got what I'm saying? There's things in January. There are things in February. There's a lot. It's probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 months out the year. Out of 12 months, there's maybe 1 or 2, 3 that I don't have a bad memory. You got me? So what I do, I keep fighting. What I do is that I chip away the bad and I put some infrastructure around me. You got me? As a human, we do what? Evolve, right? As a God, we do what? Evolve, right? Isn't that what we're doing? Isn't that what life is about? Evolving? Then peep this. I am the nasty pastor. Please like, share, comment. Go over to my YouTube channel, Only Faith Ministries, and subscribe. Go to TikTok. You can find prayers. You can find these clips from these 4 readings. You can find what else over there? You got clips. You got prayers. You have in my stories there are things called reading fundamentals. You know what I mean? You can find you can check them out and laugh at them. But anywho, I'm out. I love you. Take care.